Driving is all about passion, the thrill, the excitement that stimulates our five senses. It isn't just a means to get from point A to point B. It is more about the process, or let's say, experience, rather than the end. Hello guys and welcome to another video by the Karkhana. Car maker Ferrari needs no introduction. Ferrari is the other name of speed. Behind all of Ferrari's beautiful, innovative and fast cars, there is a man with a great dream and a strong will. Enzo Ferrari dedicated his life to racing and building the Ferrari enterprise. No history of Ferrari is complete without mentioning that Enzo Ferrari worked for Alfa Romeo from 1920 to 1929 and that he raced for Alfas for another 10 years after that. He wanted to get a job at Fiat after World War I, but restrictions on civilian auto traffic in Italy meant that the company wasn't hiring. From the time he was 12, according to Ferrari, the man and his machines, Enzo knew that he wanted to be a race driver. At Alfa, he achieved that dream and adopted the Cavallino, or prancing horse, insignia for his Alfa race car. In 1929, Enzo Ferrari left Alfa Romeo's employment to start his own racing stable, Scuderia in Italian. Scuderia Ferrari did not race cars with the Ferrari name, though the Alfas they used on the track did sport the prancing horse. Race cars came to Scuderia from Alfa for tuning for almost a decade, and the Ferrari shop in Modena built its first car, the Alfa Romeo 158 Grand Prix Racer, in 1937. In 1938, Alfa took its racing program in-house and Enzo Ferrari went on with it. After 10 years on his own, though, working for someone else proved a little difficult. Enzo Ferrari left Alfa, or let's say he was dismissed, for the last time in 1939. When Enzo Ferrari left Alfa Romeo, he agreed not to use his name in connection with racing for 4 years. That wasn't so bad. World War II curtailed racing for almost all of those 4 years anyway. Ferrari moved from Modena to Maranello during the war, where it remains today. In 1945, Ferrari began work on the 12-cylinder engine the company would be famous for. In the year 1947, Enzo Ferrari drove the first 125S out of the factory gates. Post-war racing was Ferrari's finest hour on the track. Driver Luigi Chinetti was the first to import Ferrari cars to the US. In the late 1940s, that also included the first, the 166 Inter. During the 1950s, Ferrari had legendary engineers like Lampredi and Geno on the payroll, and bodies designed by the legendary Pininfarina. Every time a race car was improved, the road car was the beneficiary. In 1951, a Ferrari 375 brought the team its first victory, over Alfa Romeo no less. The 357 America hit the market in 1953, as did the first in the long line of 250 GTs. Production of all Ferrari cars grew from 70 or 80 a year in 1950 to more than 300 by 1960. Enzo suffered a personal tragedy in 1956 when his son Dino, who had helped develop Ferrari's V6 engine, died at the age of 24. The 60s started out pretty good for Ferrari. Phil Hill won the Formula One championship in 1961 using a 1.5-litre V6 race car named Dino. It was the first era of the sexy, swooping 250 Testarossa. But things got rough for the prancing horse, like when Carroll Shelby brought his Cobra to European racetracks. After years of rivalry, the Texan beat the Italian in 1964. Ferrari was having financial troubles as well, but that was nothing new. There were talks with Ford about a buyout, but Enzo Ferrari instead walked out on that deal and sold part of the company to Fiat in 1969. The V6 engine made it to a production model in the Dino 246 of the early 70s. In 1972, the company built the Fiorano test circuit next to the factory. Ferrari introduced the Berlinetta Boxer flat 12 engine to the world at the 1971 Turin Motor Show in the 365 GT Berlinetta Boxer, and the car hit showrooms in 1976. The next year, Carrozzeria Scaglietti di Modena, Ferrari's design house, was officially incorporated into the company. Cars were churned out by Ferrari standards, with some models being built in the thousands. Let's skip to 1985, when one of the most iconic of all Ferraris appeared on the posters across the world, the Testarossa. Note that at this time, this model name is one word, not two. The 80s also saw the convertible Mondial and the realization of Enzo Ferrari's dream, the F40. It was built to commemorate the company's 40th anniversary with a carbon fiber body, a giant wing, and Kevlar panels. Ferrari's brand recognition was at an all-time high, with a replica 1961 250 GT starring in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. But in 1988, Enzo Ferrari died at the age of 90. Fiat's share of Ferrari rose to 90%, son Piero became VP. In 1991, Luca di Montezemolo took the reins of the prancing horse. The supercar streak continued with the F50, but the 90s had a wider offering of smaller engines like the V8 in the F355 series. There were still V12s to be had, of course, like the Testarossas that continued to be built throughout the mid-90s. In 2003, Enzo Ferrari got his due with a 230 mile-per-hour supercar named for the company's founder. On the track, the hot-blooded Ferrari cars met their match in the cool German driving of Michael Schumacher, who raced Ferraris to 7 F1 championships between 1994 and 2004. In the 2000s, fresh from the success of Formula One, Ferrari's road cars literally went to a whole new level of awesome. The Ferrari F430 came out flying and was followed by a superb front-engined 599 with its screaming V12. Ferrari also introduced a host of new models to their lineup with the Ferrari California and the Ferrari FF, both of which won rave reviews from the fans and critics alike. Just when Ferrari was riding high, they once again raised the bar. The Ferrari F458 launched in 2010 is considered by many as one of the greatest ever. The recent F12 Berlinetta and the mental hybrid Enzo replacement of the Ferrari LaFerrari are both ready to take Ferrari into the future. Very quickly, of course. Ferrari CEO Sergio Marchionne says that every Ferrari sold from 2019 will be a hybrid of some sort. Marchionne's ultimate goal is to sell 10,000 per year by 2025, the current per annum being 7,000. Speaking during a conference call to investors, Marchionne explained that using a mixture of combustion engine and electric power, this will help the company to make cars even faster while also improving the efficiency. Currently, the only Ferrari road cars to use hybrid power are the LaFerrari and the LaFerrari Aperta, but the F12 successor, which is expected to arrive around 2020, is rumored to become the first mainstream model to use hybrid electric power. Autocar revealed earlier this year that Ferrari had patented common architecture for electric models that would be able to travel 30 miles in electric-only mode. The patented architecture could possibly be used to underpin everything from entry-level models to the flagship future F12 successor. Marchionne also suggested that Ferrari could increase its product range to include more luxury models like the recently launched GT-C4 Lusso to appeal to a wider audience and help increase the demand. However, some limit is likely to be kept in place in order to maintain the exclusivity of the brand's products. Ferrari's ambitious plans for the future come after it has enjoyed some strong financial success in the recent months. Share prices rose more than 7% on Monday after it posted an 8% sales increase for the third quarter of 2016. We all hope that Ferrari achieves this historic mark and manages to submit itself not only as a sports car model but also the one it hopes to be in the future. So that's it for today's video. Feel free to share this video with sports car lovers or the lucky ones who own a Ferrari. See you for the next one.